Shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders at GMS, and to the elect doing the work in sincerity and in truth. Shalawam. There's GMS Precepts, Nazar Khad speaking. And real quick, I want to do a quick show, real quick video on basically um, uh, the trials that you go through, right? The suffering that you go through, and it's something. It's like they say in the world, it's like a rite of passage, right? When you're a follower of Yahawashi, right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, I hate saying that name. Part of what you have to go, part of the rite of passage is you have to walk in his stead, right? When he was on the earth, when he was living, um, he went through a lot of hell. He suffered a lot of persecution, but part of so as followers of him, we have to as well, right? And plenty of scriptures on that. I'm just gonna touch on a few. I have a few queued up here. So without further ado, first scripture I have here is 2 Timothy 3:12. Um, you know what? Let me just go to. I'll start at 10. It says, this is 2 Timothy 3:10. It says, but thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions which came unto me at Antioch and Iconium, at Lystra, what persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Right. So that's powerful words. That's powerful. Let's look up the word. I like looking up words, man. Let's go into endured, right? Because that's also in Matthew's, the 24th chapter. The Lord said that. He said, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved, right? I guarantee it's the same word. So it says, to bear by being under, bear up, a thing placed on one's shoulders. You see? And was to bear patiently, to endure. Now, wasn't what was placed on the Lord's shoulders, right? What did and what became a sort of saying, right? Bear your cross, right? Isn't that part of this whole thing of ours, right? You have to. It's it's something that you have to go through, right? And that's the same. That's a so that's the definition of endure. Bear up, a thing placed on one's shoulders. Um, that's good. That's nice. Let me look up. Uh, what is it? Carry. I didn't even really expect to go here. I pressed and see. I hate that. That's why I don't really like using this, man. Let me just go. It's gonna give me 1,000 scripture. All right, so look at that. And he that taketh not his cross. So this is Matthew's 10:38. This is, I guarantee you, if you look in the scriptures, this is going to be the red letter. It says, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Right? Then said Yahawashi unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. You see, so he helped them out. And saying, thou that destroyest the temple and buildest it in 3 days, save thyself. If thou be the Son of Man, come down from the earth. So, yeah. So he says, take up the cross. Let's look up what the take it not his cross and follow. Let me see. Take up his cross. What is let's look at this. This wasn't even part of what I was gonna do. let's look up that word, take up. It says, this is take up, to raise up, elevate, lift up, raise from the ground, take up, to bear away what has been raised, carry off, to take upon oneself and carry what has been raised up to bear. You see? So, where was I? So the Lord did it, and He said the same thing essentially, right? The word that's nice. So it said the word taketh basically means the Lord said, I'm getting excited. Excuse me. So the Lord said, "He that taketh up not his cross and walk with me is not worthy of me." Right? I'm saying that verbatim. That's not word for word, but you understand the point. So the word taketh, the definition of the word taketh his cross, right, or taketh, it means almost as it so it means to endure also, right? Because it says to bear away what has been raised or carry off. So it's something that you're carrying off, right? Carrying off, carry away with. Okay, so circling back, let's go back. Let's just get the quote real quick again. It says, "And when he called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me," right? And this is essentially what he's saying. Is what he's saying is what this lesson is about. It says, "Whosoever," and this is the Lord speaking onto. Sorry, got a phone call. It says, "And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples," so this is something he's telling the people. He's saying, "Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Right? So you have to bear or endure part of the trials and temptations that you go through. You see? So it's all part of it. So let me go back now. Let me go back. Right? So it says to bear by being under, bear up, a thing placed on one's shoulders. The same thing which was figurative, it was placed on the Lord's shoulders, right? To bear patiently, right? To endure, right? Endure. So the things that we go through, the trials, the tribulations we go through, we have to patiently endure. We have to patiently endure them. You see? Undergo hardships. Okay? So let's go back. So this is Timothy's 3:11. Going back here. It says, "Persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me in Antioch." This is Paul speaking at Timothy's, at Lystra. "What persecutions I endured, but out of them all, who delivered me? The Lord delivered me." You see? So, if we have that in mind, right, whatever trials we go through, whatever things that we go through, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, how I'm going to get through this, but the Lord is going to deliver me, right? Because I look at it as a test, right? What are you going to do? How are you going to react when I put you through this? The same, and our example, the example of that is Job, right? He allowed Satan to put him through hell, and the Lord already knew what type of man Job was, and that he was going to endure, and he was going to. There's nothing that Satan can do to break him, and he didn't break, right? Because his faith was strong enough. He understood that in anything the Lord is going to deliver him out of whatever temptation that was placed on him. you know. So that's so knowing that, right? Knowing that all scriptures are given for our learning, we are going through nothing. The things that we go through aren't any different from the prophets before us and the prophets now, right? I look at the apostles of GMS. They go through the same things that we went through, or we they are went through it and are going through the same things that we might be going through. So it's no different, right? If you are a follower, it's gonna say here. It's gonna say it right here. I can't. This can't say it any better than I'll try to attempt to say it. This is verse 12. Yea, and all that will live godly with, or I'm sorry, in Yahawashi shall what? Suffer persecution. So it's and this is going to be the one of the scriptures I have. Think it not strange, right? When you go through certain things, and people are going to look at you, and I'll use myself as an example. I was talking to somebody, a coworker that I used to work with, not in truth, excuse me, but I was telling him things that I was going through. He was like, "Yo, man, are you are you dealing with some kind of chick that does voodoo or something, man? You gotta look back and see who you dealing with, man. I think some bitch put a hex on you, right?" But I'm laughing, but in my mind, I'm like, nigga, if you only knew the reason why I'm going through this is because I'm following the Lord. You see? And this is these persecutions, these certain temptations that I have to endure are part of it. You see? And when you don't go through those things, you should worry, right? Because that's a high possibility that the Lord is not dealing with you. So what do you have to do? You have to take it cheerfully, right? Embrace the tribulation. I know it's easier said than done, but in a way you have to because all of this is just all the things that we go through are all to make us stronger, all to make us better. That's the purpose. It's not to break us down. The only ones that he does that to break down are the ones that are not chosen, right? Because he does put you through some things, or he does put a person through things, knowing they're gonna fold, knowing they're gonna buckle, and that nigga's not in the truth no more. You see? Right. So I read that person. I read that again. It says, 2 Timothy 3:3. Yea, and all that will live godly in Yahawashi shall suffer persecution. Right. Next scripture. Scripture is what is this? It's Timothy's 4:12. Right. Here it is. Right. Beloved, share the sufferings of Yahawashi. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice, right? Did I say that? We have to embrace the tribulation or the fiery trials, right? But rejoice, right? In as much as ye are partakers of Yahawashi's sufferings, right? Because he was Yahawashi went through things, man, right? In as much as ye are partakers of Yahawashi's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with what? Exceeding joy. Okay, let's look up that word partakers right quick. Partakers. To come in communion or fellowship with, to become a sharer, be a partner, to enter into fellowship, join oneself to be an associate, make oneself a sharer or partner, right? So it's like a rite of passage, man, right? Into what? The 144,000 club, 144K club. In order to become a member or an associate or a partner or a sharer with Yahawashi, right? You have to go through what he went through, and that's sufferings. That's tribulation, right? And then you could enter into a fellowship in the 144K club. Nice. Fellowship, right? Beloved, thinking not strange. If I partakers, let's look up. Did I look up? Yeah, partakers, sufferings. Yeah, that's nice. But rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Yahawashi's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Where we at? Peter's 5:9. Whom, I'm sorry, it says, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world, right? So one thing that um, I always get reminded of whenever I speak to a brother, or when I'm around a brethren, is you are not the only one going through things, right? Whenever I speak to a brother or speak to or see brothers at camp, and say how you doing, what's going on, what's the latest, and they just say what they go through, like damn, they go through some shit. That reminds you, like, oh, you know what? I'm not. It's not only me going through shit, right? Everybody's going through shit. Why? Because Timothy's is um I'm sorry, no, it is Peter's. We are all partakers of Yahawashi's sufferings, right? Partakers are a partner, an associate, right? If you what is it? If you live, right? It says all that will live godly with Yahawashi shall what? Suffer persecution. So to be part of that 144K club, you gotta go through it. The Lord Yahawashi is gonna put you through it. There's no way around it, right? Right. I can read this too, right? It says, "But the Most High of all grace, who hath called us onto His eternal glory by Yahawashi," right? So that's showing you there's a separation. God of all grace, who hath called us onto His eternal glory by Yahawashi, right? After that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. Right? So there's a point to all this. The point of us going through this tribulation is to perfect us, to establish us, to strengthen us, to settle us. Okay? Let's look at, I'm just curious. Let's see what else it says in different versions. NLT. And the Most High of all grace, who called you to His eternal glory in Yahawashi, after you have suffered a little while, will Himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. In OT it says He will restore, support, and strengthen you, and He will place you on a firm foundation. Scriptures speak about uh, uh, a strong foundation, right? Yeah, the scriptures speak about Yahawashi being the cornerstone of a foundation, right? Meaning He has to be the centerpiece. He has to be he's an important part of one's faith, right? Yahawashi being that cornerstone. If you don't have Yahawashi as that cornerstone, your whole house that you build upon is built upon a weak foundation. That's why the ones that don't acknowledge Yahawashi as Yahawashi, as an important figure in this whole thing, they have no foundation, and the Lord Yahawashi is going to get rid of them dudes. Okay. Where we at? First Timothy. It says, 1 Timothy 3:13, that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto, right? Right. We were appointed unto you. This is something that was placed upon us, right? This is something that was placed up. So there's no way, there's no way around this. In order to be a follower of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, in order to be in this truth, or in order to be delivered, in order to receive that salvation at the end, right? You have to go through tribulation. Oh, look. So it says, for verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. For this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means a tempter have tempted you and labor you out of it. Right. So I'm sorry. So appointed. This is something that was appointed to us, man. Going through this tribulation, temptations. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's gonna make us stronger. Right. We're gonna be refined, and it's part of joining the 144K club. All right. All right. I think that's it. I think I hit the point. Lord willing, brothers and sisters were edified. Until the next show. Shalawam.